Good evening and welcome to Success in the City. My name is Helen Webster. I'm with the lovely
Sandra Scott and our young inspirational guest this morning to this. What day is it? This evening. Everyone knows this show's live. Our young inspirational guest this evening is
Chloe Alex.
Welcome, Chloe.
Hi.
Alex.
Hi, Chloe. Thank you so much, Chloe. And you'll find out the most nutty thing in a minute of how Chloe and I were introduced and then how we actually met. So I'm going to save that for when I introduce her, which was a bit nuts. But we do have a little format. So we shout out to the kids, any little people, young people who've done amazing things this week. I'm going to go first, San, okay?
Okay.
I've got two shout outs.
One.
So the first shout out is to James and Hannah Walker. So me two little bezies. And I picked them up from school on Friday. And I had them and they went to bed and it was hilarious. I loved every minute of it. We went to the park. James had his little footy lesson. It was just hilarious. And the things that they were trying to get away with was amazing. So big shout out to them for not getting away with anything. And the reason we've got our show today is that I was at the Girls Network yesterday because I'm a mentor for them. And I want to give a massive shout out to all the young mentees. So they are 15, 16-year-olds. And I'm actually at Holly Lodge this year. And they were amazing. There was 20 of them. And they have to do certain things. And they have to interview us. And they have to move along. And I just think to have that confidence, that's the cat's face. To have that confidence at 15, 16 to be able to come and have a chat with total strangers. So fair play to them. They were all lovely. A few were little nerves, but then towards the end, the little nerves had gone. So big shout out to them. So I'm really looking forward to looking after my little mentee who I met last night.
Oh, brilliant.
What about you, San?
I've had a few successes this week.
We're not doing success. We're doing a shout out for the kids.
I'm away with the fairies tonight. Right, we need to. So just to clarify, when I haven't been drinking, I just wake up. I think I've had a disco kick though.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and that's my excuse. It's like I've had a cup of coffee. I was really shattered. So okay, I thought that was your success of the week. So shout out for the young people today. Oh yeah, okay. Shout out for two young people who I won't name, but they both go to school over the water and they had a PEP. And a PEP, for those who don't know, it's where we have a meeting for children who are in care, looked after children and with their teachers. And they're in foster care, so the foster mum was on, the teachers, etc. And I just thought it's hard for a kid to go. They get pulled out of class. We're like, oh, what are you going to now? You know, they missed half. This was all on Zoom, and they've got a social worker there, a foster mum. The foster mum is the most amazing foster mum you could ever wish for. The schools who are both very supportive and the young person sat there, and it's everyone talking about them and what's happening. And it's great. It's important because it's monitoring the progress and make sure the school's doing right by the child and doing everything they can to get them to move forward. But it's still hard for a young person to sit through that, you know. And just a shout out for them and to all the kids in care who go through these PEPs every year or term.
Brilliant. Well done. And keep going. Good evening to Jan Railton's listening in. So good evening, Jan. Chloe, you will have a million little people that you want to shout out to. Give us a shout out to some of your young people who've done fabulous things this week.
Oh goodness. I don't. To be honest, if I was to shout out every single girl that I could right now, I'd be here till I'm on a walking stick. So as a whole, the girls at Chicks Who Kick and the girls in the sports community, I just think everyone at the moment is doing the best, turning up every week, especially going back to school. A lot of them have just started Year 7 as well. So they're doing a lot. They're doing really well. They recently finished the SATs, obviously, and I'm really proud of them. They're doing a good job. So my little girls, yeah.
Brilliant. And everybody needs to follow Chloe Chicks Who Kick.
Please
just to see all of the gorgeous little people that she because she puts little of their skills and things, and they're all just like little buttons. They're all just dead cute.
They're so cute.
So, yeah, giving a shout out to all of them. Okay, San, what's your success this week?
So I've got loads going on. So I did a submission to Ofsted on behalf of someone for setting up a school, which has been a massive piece of work. A massive piece of work. It's months of work, all the documentation and everything. that got in, and we got an acknowledgement email, so I know I did it right, uploading everything. So that was really good. So I was glad that was done, definitely.
Brilliant, mate. Well done.
And
Amazing.
it's like the weight of the world off my shoulders now. So I'm really happy that's done.
Brilliant. And my success is Lou Interactive Playground. The first one in the UK is being installed today. Well, it's half installed today. It's going to get finished off tomorrow. So I've been there today, and it's just dead exciting. So I've done I'm going to make a little reels and things, and I'll share it with everybody. But I'm absolutely delighted because my goal was to have it in the first one to be in Liverpool, and in either an alternate provision or a specialist provision of school, and so it's going into a really special school, which I'm super excited about. So it's a big massive tick for everything. So it's only taken 3 years, but we're finally getting there. So
and is this someone who was encountered through Fran Darcy as well, who we had on the show from the Big Help Project? So people just help people, don't they?
And
Oh yeah.
Was that? Yeah.
Brilliant. Chloe, what's your success this week?
Not mine, my girls' success. We do. So a lot of them are moving to advanced stages now in terms of like combinations and different fundamentals, and a lot of them they're just literally breaking through barriers, smashing them. So not my success. It's seeing what I coach through them girls. So that's kind of, as a whole, my girls improving every week.
I love that. Brilliant, amazing. Okay, this or that. Me and Sandra, I'm going to ask you and Sandra. Sandra will ask me and you. All right,
okay.
They're dead easy. No need to panic. Right, okay. Am I going first, San?
No, I'll go first because you robbed my questions last week or the week before. So I'm going to go first. So, Chloe, we're sponsored by Corporate Connections at the moment. We change sponsor most months, but they've kept going with us for a bit. So Corporate Connections is like a very, very high level networking group. Okay, it's quite exclusive in the city and that. And we're lucky to have one in Liverpool, which is launched. And so the questions about networking. Do you prefer just to go to an event and mingle and chat to people and see how you know, or do you prefer a structured event whilst you sat around the table?
Probably just to go around and mingle, because I think you've got no reins on you, then you can do whatever you want and speak to whoever.
Okay.
Brilliant. Okay. Mine's a little bit business themed. Okay. Would you rather use Zoom or Teams? Chloe.
Well, to be honest, when I was in college, we used Teams, and you kind of could never get away from like not doing your work and stuff. So I'll probably say Zoom. you could like turn your camera off and they wouldn't say much. But Teams was very like school based, so Zoom.
Yeah. What about you, Sam?
So I use Zoom on a daily basis, and I don't know any difference. So I use Teams when people invite me to a meeting on Teams. The ones yesterday were on Teams and that, but I like Zoom because I know how to do. I know how to screen share. I know how to do everything I need to do to teach online and that. So I really like that, But I don't know any different, but probably. So I would have to say Zoom at the moment.
And I think for me, so I had a Teams meeting yesterday, but the guy set it up for me. And I think, as you say, during lockdown, we all became Zoom experts, didn't we? And I'd never really done anything. So Teams was a bit like, I felt Teams was a little bit restrictive, but I haven't used it enough. So I'm more familiar with Zoom. So I would say Zoom for me. Yeah. Okay, Sam, number 2.
Okay. Chloe, do you prefer the cinema or the theatre?
Probably the cinema, to be honest, because I think it's nice where you can like sit with your like popcorn and your drinks, and then you can like get your phone up. But in the theatre, it's very like you're there and you're watching it and there's nothing else. But cinema for me.
Hang on a minute, you want to see them at the Empire when the interval? It's like Deliveroo arrives and all the girls run around with all these bags, and they've got this gins and everything going out and wine.
Oh
on it, they really are. Although, where did we go? Helen and I went with you. Was it 42nd Street?
In the Empire?
I swear to God, it was £9 for 2 ice creams. I was like, that.
It's disgusting.
I'll just let you know that I had a gin. Me and my mum had a gin and tonic each in the Empire because I went to see 42nd Street twice in the week because my mum I bought it for my mum for her birthday, but she went away. So Sandra came and then I booked it again for my mum. And I bought 2 gin and tonics for the interval and it was £19.
Yeah,
single
so
gin and tonic. I know, I nearly clapped. I know.
And we remember when we went to the Philharmonic that time and it was 15 and we thought that was for the G&T and sparkling wine and we were having this is why people take their own in the bag, I'm just saying.
I know. Yeah, I don't blame them. So I'm theatre. What are you, San?
Theatre. Hands down.
Okay. Chloe, this is a really hard one and I'm dead sorry.
Okay.
Would you rather play football or coach football?
Oh God. Do I have to answer?
Yeah, sorry. One for the rest of your life.
For the rest of my life, probably coach it because then I can pass on what I've learned to younger girls, which I'm doing now. And I've played a lot anyway, so coach.
Yeah. What about you, San, in your football career?
That's a horrible question, to be fair.
I know.
So I'd rather coach and go, yay, come on, pass. Don't hug the ball. That's all I would say in that scenario. Well done, well done. Yeah, coach, obviously.
I'd rather. I think if I could, for the rest of my life, I think I'd rather play. If I could carry on and play for the rest of my life at a good standard. Yeah, I'd probably do play. Okay, San, your go. Last one.
Tricks like that Brazilian girl who's amazing. Yeah. No. Okay. So Chloe, would you rather watch Liverpool play at Anfield, the main Premier League team, or would you rather watch Liverpool women's team?
Probably Liverpool women's team because they don't get enough publicity as it is. The men have enough, so they don't need any more.
Okay.
Women.
They do have enough because Stephen Gerrard's on my Facebook feed in every Arabic costume you could imagine.
Oh God, I know.
Using at the moment.
I know.
With Arabic. Hilarious.
So I've been fortunate to go to Liverpool men's and women's, and it's actually the derby on Sunday, isn't it? Saturday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was on the clip, wasn't I?
Unbelievable!
What one?
It's on Instagram. Liverpool women shared it. They shared, and then somebody said, "Watch it till the end." And there's me at the game going, "Yay!"
Oh my God.
I was like, "That how exciting!"
Hilarious.
I loved it. I loved the atmosphere of the women's game because there was like families there was kids, it was just a lovely atmosphere. So I think I'd rather go to the women's, even though I love going to the men's football as well, but I think I would rather go to the women's at the moment. I loved it. Yeah, it was ace. Okay, my last one. Chloe, this time you're going to play football, okay? Would you rather play home or away?
Sounds mad, but away. Because I love the wind up and love, me things are not there. I love winding people up and I love kind of getting other people to egg me on. If I hear people from the side shouting bad things and that kind of boosts me in a weird way, but away.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you, San? Home or away?
Sorry, I'm looking for this video of you. I was sent it on somewhere just to show people
what it was. WhatsApp.
Which? Oh, just you
and me. Espanol WhatsApp.
Oh, I thought it was the Espanol one. Sorry, ask me the question again. Would you rather play
or away,
or visit home and away?
So you don't play. Would you rather watch a home game or an away game?
Home, hands down, because I've been to Anfield. Home, definitely, for the ambience.
Yeah, I like away. I like away. I like the travel. I like the excitement. I think it's I'd rather
it's Wembley.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. So we know a little bit more about Chloe. We're going to find out even more about Chloe. So I was introduced to Chloe back in February, and I was introduced by Warren Dutton from LLS, who is the Director of Education. And I went and had a coffee with him, And he said, you need to meet this young girl. He said, she's amazing. He said, the name's Chloe. She's started Chicks Who Kick. And it's all about teaching, young women football and young girls. And he was absolutely raving about Chloe. So I followed her on Instagram and I started sending a few little messages. So from February till now, Chloe and I have been talking on social media. We've never had the chance to meet up. It was our steward's Paula, so my sister-in-law's birthday on Sunday. So I went round to give her a present. And there's Paula's friend Sandra and her daughter. So I said, hello, our steward's outside. So he goes outside and he's making this thing. And I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm making this board for football. He said, for Chloe in there. And I said, all right. And then Thomas comes out and he goes, yeah. He goes, she teaches football. She's got a thing called Chicks. And I went, not Chicks Who Kick. And he said, yeah. And I said, that's Chloe. So I come racing back up the garden and I was like, and as I ran in, Chloe was like, you're Helen. And I was like, how mad is that? I was like, you need to get on this show right now.
Yeah.
So I wanted to share. Oh, you're sharing the air thing. It's like for about 0.7 of a second.
I'm going to it's fantastic. I'm going to share the link on our page because I think it's absolutely.
You can share it that I'm famous. Yeah. So that's how I met Chloe. And then I was like, Chloe, you need to come on and tell us everything about everything, because as a young inspirational person, I love it when you've got young people just doing dead cool things.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm going to hand it over to Chloe. Chloe, we want to find about what were you like at school, what your interests were. Then you went off to LLS. Tell us your LLS journey, because you've done some really amazing things for a young person. And then you started Chicks Who Kick, and then we'll Sandra and I'll butt in at the same time and ask questions.
And I'll ask really stupid ones probably, but
please do. So in school, my interests were, surprise, sports. I was, just like a normal girl. I was loving my sports. I was the captain of like the school teams, like netball, badminton. And I just really, really enjoyed football all my life. I was in there. While I was in school, I got offered a trial at Man City. It was a 6-week trial, but at the time I was up front and they put me at left back and it didn't work out. So then I went to Walton for, I think it was like 2 or 3 years. Then after that, I joined. So I was actually in SGA, which is the partner company of LLS.
In the season Gerard.
Because it was more football. It was more football. That's why.
Yeah.
So I went there, and it's probably one a few of the best years of my life. So the doors that they opened for me was I got a trial with Wigan Athletic, and I got into Wigan Athletic for I can't remember what season. I think it was just after COVID. Just after COVID it was. I started training with them, and they offered me a contract, and that was really good. With SGA, I got to captain the team. We were traveling all around. We were like Newcastle in terms of like being close. Newcastle, Leeds, everywhere, and then we also got the opportunity to go to Tenerife for 2 weeks and live there. We trained in T3. So I don't know if you know, but Courtois he's the goalkeeper for Madrid, but we got to see him in the gym lifting weights. That was really cool. But we got to live like pros for 2 weeks, and it was amazing. And then come back. And I got asked to go to America and coach. And then that was probably like the craziest few months of my life. That was mad. And then come back home, I was thinking like, I really want to do something. I had Chicks Who Kick in my mind for months and months and months. And then here I am now.
So hang on a minute. Let's just rewind. So for me, the most amusing thing about that comment was, I'm just a normal girl who likes sports, who was captain of this team, captain of that team, captain it. So that's not normal, Chloe. That's quite exceptional. So where did you go to school?
I went to Gattaca in Belvale.
Okay, yeah. So you went to Gattaca. And then, at primary, were you interested in football, or did it start in secondary? So you were young?
Yeah, I was very young. So in primary school, it'd always be like me playing with the boys. But I've always said I don't mind playing with the boys because it kind of like adds that little bit of like rough and ready part into it. I was always like, I was mates with loads of lads, but the girls sometimes just like sit and do something else. And I was always the one playing football with them. But yeah, it's been since I was a kid.
How do you feel, Chloe, that from... So you were saying, there was only like boys playing football. Was there many other girls in primaries when because you're much, so for everybody who's listening, Chloe's only 20. She was only 20 a couple of weeks ago. So she's very young, but done massive amount of things in a young year. So the difference from, like, say, me playing football in the playground to you playing, was there a difference from primary, or have you seen a difference from when you were in primary to the young ones in primary now? Are there more girls getting involved?
Yeah, I think there's definitely like more interest and, you know, participation. I think it's like grew massively since, like, obviously the Lionesses won the Euros and stuff. But I think like when I was younger, it kind of went like I went to a couple of Liverpool games when I was younger, and you just kind of like see a couple of people there. It wouldn't be that big, but like I knew all the players. I was like dead excited to meet them and stuff.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of like if you see them, like the stadium's packed. It's a lot bigger than it used to be. Like when I was younger, it was okay, but I was kind of like, I felt a little bit like the odd one out. And then when I went to secondary school, there was one other girl who was interested in sports, and then we kind of got a little team together. But in primary, I was the only girl in the boys' team.
And were you allowed to play in the boys' team?
Yeah, because I was the only girl. Yeah.
And Chloe, one of the things we've had all kinds of guests on the show. I spoke one time about. So I liked football when I was young. When I was 8, and me and this other girl, Helen Newsom, we played with the boys. And we actually got murder for it. We got kept in at break time because we weren't allowed to play with the boys. And it's lovely how times have changed, and quite right so, because here's you now developing a career out of this, you know, and helping other people and everything. So where did you go to in the States to coach?
So I was based in Boston, but with our contract, so we had to live with host families every week. So it's kind of, so the first week, I was in Maine, which is 5 hours up from.
I know it very well. Whereabouts?
I was in Bath, and then I was in Maine. Where was I? I was in.
Bangor.
It was very low. Yeah, Bangor, Maine, and then I was in Bath the next week. But Maine is like unbelievable. And then I was in Vermont as well. That's a little bit further.
That's gorgeous.
Really, really nice. And then I also I got the opportunity to go to New York, and then we also got to cross the border and go to Canada as well, which is cool.
Where did you go to in Canada?
Downtown Montreal, and it was amazing. So
cool. Okay, so you went to the French part, and you did a bit of traveling there then in that time.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
So were you teaching young girls when you were in America and Canada, or was it mixed, you know, like multi-sport?
No, so it was mixed, but the thing is that I noticed with the America, there was a lot of girls there, but like I started to notice patterns of like girls who were teens. So I always requested to take the older girls, and I always noticed the patterns of like, you know, girls being stressed, or you could see they were anxious if like they missed a shot, and one girl started crying because she couldn't get it right. And I was thinking like, oh, it's not like this. And I've seen it before. And obviously I'm a girl who's done it myself, and lads have missed the shot and they just be like, oh, whatever. And I was thinking, it's not like this. And I was playing in my mind. I kept thinking like, oh, I wouldn't really want to do something. And every time I had a group and I had a girl, she was like embarrassed to do something because she was with loads of boys. There was one girl the first week, and I'll never forget her. She was just that like shy, and you could see she was holding herself back because I think she was with a group of boys, and the boys were lovely. Like it weren't that, but I think it's like the intimidation of being around boys and being the only female there. So for me to be with them when they was surrounded by boys, it was nice.
How did they accept you as a young female playing football as a coach? With the boys, you know, did they think, well, you know, why is a girl teaching us, or we want a boy, or were they quite cool with it all?
They were okay. They were very respectful. Like, so they'd like call you coach, and they'd come over and they'd ask to take photos and for you to sign stuff, because like as us being a coach coming over from the UK, I think it was a bit of a like, if a coach from America came and coached us, like had to be made up. So I think they were kind of like overwhelmed, like regardless of what you'd done. But I always made sure to like build a personal connection with every kid that I had, because we'd only have 5 days with them. And then some of them I'd be living with. So after I finished work, we'd go home and we'd spend time outside with them. So I think it was coaching, but it was building a connection with kids as quick as we can within a week.
Amazing.
Oh no, that's really good, and that makes a difference. And then if you've got the relationship, if you've got the rapport, it's a massive difference for the buy-in from each young person.
Yeah.
How fantastic is that? And probably as well, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the attitude with coaches in America is much more respectful, isn't it? A coach's within the school setting, the coach is held in quite high esteem. It's really important.
Definitely, I do agree. Yeah, 100%.
Amazing. So you came home from America, and you thought, right, okay, what am I going to do next? Were you still part of, so SGA is the Stephen Gerrard Academy who partner with LLS. So were you still classed as a student with them, or had you finished your program?
No, so my contract ended with like me time at school there finished. And I had, so with Chicks Who Kick, I was thinking about it in April. And I was thinking, like, do I start like a sportswear brand? Do I start like something like this? I wanted something just to be solely focused on a female environment to do with football. And then I come up with the idea of Chicks Who Kick. I remember I was sitting in my room and I was like, I was just writing things down. I was like, Chicks Who Kick, like, that's really good. I searched it to make sure it was available. And then as soon as I come back, I just started like searching things like, you know, starting your own business. Like, how can you do this? How can I build clients, like stuff, doing as much as I can to build it, really. And I was thinking, you know, like, you'd have the doubts and think, is Chicks Who Kick silly? Is it a silly name? Will it work? And then I kind of just thought, I've got nothing to lose, loads to gain. So
I love it. And the thing is as well, with Helen and I are both in business. And when you're in business, you're always going to have people who think you're off your head.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
are you doing that? What are they doing that? You're nuts, whatever. That's okay. You just keep going, because they're not living your life for you. You're living your own life.
Yeah.
You know, and anyone who's successful, anyone who's achieved, has usually had a lot more critiques than you know, support, if you like, usually. Although I think nowadays there's quite a culture, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's quite a culture in Merseyside of people having each other's back and supporting each other, especially with women who are in business, you know. People
Yeah.
each other massively. Have you had quite a positive experience, or has it been mixed?
No, I think, I mean, obviously, you know, you're going to get some people who aren't going to agree, and it's life. Like, my mum's always said to me, no matter what you do, if you're working with the general public, you're just going to have to, you know, take it. And to be honest, 99.9% everyone's been so supportive. But I think, like, when you start a business, you find out, like, who is there, like, you understand yourself, who is there and who's got your back and who will be there when you need. Because when you start a business, you're alone and it's yours and no one else's, and everyone's like, nah, I'm staying away because it's a hard bit. But when it's successful time, that's when everyone comes back.
I look forward to that.
Yeah.
So how does it? Sorry, I've got loads to ask you.
I know. I just want to go back to the business thing. So you thought, right, okay, so you weren't even 20 then. So you were only 18, 17, 18,
19, because I turned 19 in the States. So
19. So you're 19 years of age. And did you have any prior business experience, or did you think, right, okay?
To be honest, I've always had in the back of my mind, I want to start my own business, but it's how, who, what, when, where, why. Like, it's a thing. It's kind of a taboo thing at this age, where it's kind of like a lot of people want to go out drinking. And I mean, I'm not saying like I'm the perfect person ever, but they want to go out drinking, smoking. And a lot of my friends were kind of like either like sitting at home, like doing nothing, or, you know, if I asked them to go out, no, I don't want to. Can we go and play football? No. Do you want to go out and drink? I was like, no. People vaping and just kind of living a lifestyle that I weren't interested in. So I kind of just decided that it was time for me to, like, isolate myself away from people that aren't going to benefit me, and then just work on what I want to work on. And then that's how I've got to where I am.
Unbelievable. At the age of 20, that's just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? To have that mindset and knowledge is just unbelievable.
So, you know, your business then, is it located in a specific place, or how do people access what you do? How does your company work?
So at the moment, we're at Thomas Lane playing fields, which is about, it's not far, it's a local playing field, but obviously as it's starting to get darker now, we're locating to at Astro Field. So
you don't know, that's not the Ashbroad Greenway, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not the Ashbroad Greenway. Yeah, so it's a field, it's lovely. I've been on there since, I started Chicks Who Kick just over a year ago, so it's now going over a year. But now obviously we're getting quite a lot of demand, so we're looking to move to a venue where it's like floodlit and, you know, it's suitable for all clients to use in all venues. So yeah,
brilliant. I love it.
Hang on a minute. So for Tom in New Orleans and people who aren't local, Knotty Ash is a real place. Because people don't realise.
I wear Ken Dodd. Just type in Ken Dodd, Knotty Ash, and you'll know.
We are the Dizzy Men, and we come from
it's next door to him, isn't it? So you've got this amazing, you know, you've decided you've got Chicks Who Kick, and then you've got a phenomenal logo.
I haven't see the logo.
It's gorgeous. It's proper gorgeous.
Keep talking.
And your social media, and, you know, for people who've never done business, how did you go from So for other young people who are watching, to say like, look, Chloe's has succeeded and done all of this at the age of 20. Okay, what were the steps that you took first? So if somebody's watching, they can say, right, okay, we might want to do something like that. So your logo is phenomenal. Your social media is incredible.
Thank you.
What were your little steps that you took?
So first of all, you've kind of got to make like, for me, this is personally what Chloe would do. So I made Instagram, I made a Facebook, I made an email. And then I started just like kind of playing around with the logo, like writing down what I wanted to do. I was searching how to like grow through social media, how to build clientele. And to be honest, I use a lot of like modern day technology to, like you've got to use ChatGPT to formulate like sentences and paragraphs, or you can use...
No, not that one.
To be fair, that was the old banner when we very first
was
started.
it?
Yeah, it was a very old one, but the new one we've got now, I've got to say, I did make it myself. So you've just got to experiment. You've just got to experiment.
Yeah.
That's it. You've just got to experiment. So yeah, that's it. And we're so close to 500 followers as well. I do have to mention that. So close.
You're going to be on 500 followers after this show. So, son,
everyone needs to follow this, because this is a young person who's local, who's just helping young people access. Share this profile.
Yeah, you can set all that up on the Instagram.
Oh, thank you.
What was your biggest challenge then, Chloe, when you first set up?
To not give up. If you're going to be really honest, I think like the first 6 months when you're in a business, especially when I started it in September, like it was getting cold, and I just come back from sunny Boston and gorgeous New York, and I was thinking like, God, it's so hard. And I was used to coaching like 40 kids on my own every day for weeks and weeks. So I think like building clientele and being persistent, and sometimes, because business is not just like a straight line, it's very ups and downs. So kind of pushing yourself through the ups and downs, you've just got to kind of think of the end product, really. That's how it got me through.
Brilliant. So I know you do one-to-one coaching, and do you do group coaching as well?
We do. We do.
Yeah.
We do.
What's your favorite one? Oh, have you got teams as well?
Yeah, so if clients get in touch and say they've got teams, so at the moment we've got a couple of people getting in touch where like they want to get team training, because like it's nice to have a female coaching, like it's males and they've asked for a female coach, so it's nice, things like that I love to do. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So what age groups do you work with?
So the thing is, I've always said this, so whatever age you are, and if you're my business is portrayed to women. If you're a woman and you want to learn how to play football, come to me. I've got no like tag on the age. If you're a baby, you can come and learn. If you're a girl who's maybe had an injury, or she's torn an ACL, wants to get back into it, come to me. Or maybe if like you're struggling up there and you want to come and do it to release some stuff, come to me. That's how I've always said it. Whoever you are, you're a girl, come to me and I'll help.
Sandra's going to get her boots on.
I know.
I was thinking, what should I pick tap dancing or
footy, obviously.
Chloe, you don't know honest to God, this has been so I did the battler, the drumming. I've always wanted to do it, and 10 years ago, or about 12 now, I saw them, and then before the lockdown I applied, and I loved it. Oh my God, what a fiasco. So I love the lessons and everything. I have got no coordination, that's why Helen's laughing. I'm like, turn right, turn left.
You were good.
I wasn't, because they all turn one way, I turn the other, and one of the women videoed me and goes, oh, look, and I was like, anyway, I was so bad, and I had the biggest drum because it was the easiest, but it was a living nightmare to carry. It took up half the disaster, and I was like, oh, this isn't for me, and blah blah blah. And I did all the school, and then we started going to gigs and that, and then a terrible thing happened. My left arm blew up like a balloon because I did loads of practicing. It was a lot of time, and I just thought, right, this is not the thing for you. Just accept it. So I've had to go. I love it. I like to watch it. I still think they're all great and listen to them. We've had them on the show, but the Bachelor isn't for me. So several of my friends think it's highly amusing as I try all these activities. Come
and try it. I mean, not to lose loads of gain.
No, that's not happening.
It'll get wet.
No, I'm doing my course now, aren't I? I'm doing my Blue Badge Tour Guide course, which is just amazing. That's a different story. There's nothing about that bar walking, so that's healthy.
So we're going to go back to Chicks Who Kick.
Yeah.
So, Have you found that there's more female coaches getting involved in, should we say, the male side of the sport? Because there's a new female manager, isn't there? You know, that we have female lines, you know, and referees and things like that. Has it changed in your short time?
Yes and no. I think we're moving, but we're moving very slowly, kind of, because I think there's kind of like, you know, there's so if you look right, so if you have a lady who's just become, I'm sure it was a lady who become a manager of a men's team.
Yeah.
I took a deep breath before I went into the comments because I knew exactly what it'd be. Or if I see like, you know, the women being successful in the Euro, so they lost in the World Cup, it was to Spain. Yeah. And I just didn't want to look on Twitter because I thought I knew what it was. So it's kind of like, it's like one step forward, two steps back with anything, because you've just got so many like men. I mean, I've never ever seen a woman critic. Maybe they do, whatever, but it's just so many men who pounced at the opportunity to see women fail at a sport, which they think is predominantly theirs, but it's not. So it hasn't. I'd like to see more, obviously, like female coaches. It's not even like, because I think they think that, you know, female coaches have got to prove themselves in the men's game. The men's game is completely different to the women's, and I'll always stand by it. So I think like if we maybe stuck to ours, they can stick to theirs. I think it's fine.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, we've got like amazingly, you know, fantastic women coaches and women managers out there in the female game, which is just, you know, you look at so my friend played for Liverpool and Everton, so I'm going back nearly 30 years, and she used to play for Liverpool. They were called Liverpool Ladies then, and I used to travel with her, and I remember going down to Millwall on the coach, and the standard of football wasn't great. You know, it wasn't great. You watch the standard of football now, and it's phenomenal because they're now getting paid, and they've got, you know, they train properly, and you know, the standard is just phenomenal now, I think.
Definitely.
And I think, you know, why would you want to go and watch something that, and you can go and watch that now? And I think for young girls to be able to see a positive role model, and when the England women's team won the Euros, I cried when I watched it.
Yeah,
it was the emotion. Wasn't so much the emotion of the players, it was the emotion of the ex-players and the pundits, because they'd all lived through sort of the stigma of, you know, playing football and getting out there and stuff like that. I just thought it was like an amazingly emotional night.
It was very much. It was.
It's generational progress as well, isn't it?
It is.
Generations to get there, you know, that's what people don't realise.
Yeah. Did that have an impact on your business then when the Lionesses did so well?
Yeah, I think so, because obviously they won it, and then after that I come home, so there was a lot more girls like showing interest, and I think it increased massively. And I think the Lionesses wrote an open letter, I think, to, I can't remember who it was, but about funded sessions, and I was like, oh my god, this has got to be the perfect time, because little girls were like, oh, I want to be like her, so I thought, right, I was like, if I don't do it now, then I'll never do it. So I'm glad that I did.
Brilliant.
That's really good. So who do people message you on Instagram and that if they want to get in touch? Or there'll be somebody watching this now who thinks, so my granddaughter or my daughter or my niece might like to do that, you know?
Yeah, so mainly, so you can get in touch through Instagram, Facebook, or you can message me, my number. So on our Instagram or Facebook, there'll be a link to our website, and then you can head over to our website, and it'll have any way of contact you want to make. But the best thing to do is just literally get in touch and just say, hi, I want to book in, or I want to get in, and then you're in the club, you're in the team.
And that's it. So, Chloe, do you do any training with schools or anything? You know, do you go into schools and do anything with young girls?
Not at the moment, but it's something that's obviously, like, I've got like a list of a million things that I'd love to do, and there's stuff in the works. But certainly, like, if I could go into schools and maybe help little girls play football who maybe don't want to play in the playground with other boys, then if it means by helping girls, then certainly, yeah.
Definitely.
That's the Facebook one or not?
No, it's the same as the other one. The same as the other
same logo. I'll just unfollow them now.
Don't worry.
Unfollow.
Yeah, the same logo. I'll find it for you and I'll share it or not. I think I tagged. It's Chicks Who Kick is one word.
Yeah, so Who Kick is one word. So it's Chick space Who Kick. Yeah.
Yeah. when I shared it on our Success in the City when Chloe was coming on.
Yeah, I've got that. Okay.
Yeah. So lots of little girls, big girls, grown women, anyone. Are you still playing football now, or are you concentrating on your coaching?
So I am still playing football. So I was at Mossley Hill and then I had to leave to kind of focus on my business because I kind of, if I want something to excel, I can't have a thing, but I have to put 100% into it. And if I'm going to training, there you go. If I'm going to training, I have to obviously like thingy sessions and stuff. So I was thinking to myself, I'm going to give it like a season, like a football season to fully plow into the business, and it's working because we're bringing more coaches on board to obviously coach, and then while they coach, I could be training. So it's an environment for myself to train as well. So obviously I've got the stuff, I've got the girls. If I want to train, then I could do, but I've got to focus on me kids first, definitely.
Yeah, brilliant. And you've been that successful that you've now got a booking system.
Yes, I have. Thank God.
Yeah. So you've gone from a pad and a paper, sort of like, or your phone, putting times in, to now people can book online. And that's going to be like a massive progression, hasn't it? You know, you look at, this is how we used to book in, and now look, you know, to have
I never even thought I'd be able to do it, but I think like getting a book on app, it just literally takes a massive weight off your shoulders because people can book in whenever they want. They've got a form to sign if they're new, and then any questions, just give us a shout. But the people who I'm with, they've been amazing, really, really good.
Brilliant. So how many young girls, females are you coaching?
So at the moment, there's probably around 50 girls. So there's a couple. So when they sign up, there's forms where it's if they opt to be in social media or not. So obviously some don't consent. So the girls that you'll see on Instagram, they're like the social media kids. They always say, "Oh, can we film for this? Can we film for that?" And I just have the best time with them, to be honest, because I always say, like, they're like my little sisters. Like, they come and I give them a big hug, and then we talk about school. It's kind of like, I was speaking to a young girl yesterday about, she just looked dead stressed, and I said, I was like, this is the time to like release. I was like, whatever, you know, if you're in school, she's just started year 7, and you know, hormones and periods, everything, which is still taboo, which I think's mad. But I said, you're here now. I said, you're here to learn and release stress from your day. And then she left and she had the biggest smile. And if I see girls leaving and they're happy with me, then that's my job done.
Oh, that's so nice that for them, isn't it? And it's a nice environment as well, you know.
Safe environment, isn't it, with somebody who's, you know, close to them and knows them and stuff. And you were talking before that you thought, I think I might start a clothing brand, Chicks Who Kick, to do with football and things. You've sort of started your little clothing brand, haven't you? Because you've got the most amazing hairbands. You want to see the hairbands, are phenomenal.
They're very cute. They're very cute. The kids are asking about them, but they were kind of just like, they were a little, I was thinking, I don't know where to start because it's another big like leap. But I thought, I was like, do you know what? Why not? I've done the big one anyway. So I ordered a few of them, and the kids are like, oh my God, like I really like them. Can I wear them? And the mum was like, she never used to wear headbands. You're the only person who can make them wear them. So keeps the hair back. Like a
little thin, you know, like the thin hairband, and it says Chicks Who Kick on them. They're amazing. They're really, really
cool. They're that cute.
Yeah. So what's the future of Chicks Who Kick then?
Oh God, like there's so many things. So I want to make Chicks Who Kick nationwide. So if possible, in like, I've kind of got no time limit. Like I'm open to anything, but I'd like to get Chicks Who Kick just not in Liverpool. I want to get, obviously there's no limit to how many clients I want. I want us to eventually go over to Europe and maybe do clinics and camps and stuff. And I want to connect girls with the ball and let them be able to be comfortable with, you know, making mistakes and having these anxious feelings. Or because the thing is, I've always said, like, we don't just do coaching. Like we're like mentors for these girls, and like we'll always chat with them. And football's not just about playing with your feet, because if it was, then everyone would be able to do it. It's all about in your head, and it's mental as well. So if I can get it out where, you know, I want everyone to know Chicks Who Kick. Basically, I want everyone to know who I am and know what Chicks Who Kick is, and I want everyone to be helped by us, basically.
Amazing. Well, and I think everybody will.
Just to let you know, Chloe, everyone who comes on this, you wouldn't believe what happens next. We like that. They're on Radio Merseyside, then they get national awards, everything.
I hope so, because that's amazing.
I got a BAFTA.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, so we definitely, it is a platform for greatness. And I think, Chloe, the way, for such a young person, you speak really well, you're passionate, you've
Thank
got
you.
your head screwed on massively, you've got your vision, you've got your goals. And I think with everybody's support, we can get you to where you need to be massively.
Brilliant. Do you know what? The show, Chloe, it's about ordinary people doing extraordinary things to inspire others locally. And that's what you're doing. There'll be someone watching this who's older than you or listening, who thinks, oh, that young girl's done that. I can go and do my business, whatever it is, And
I hope so.
You know what you see, don't you? So you are a massive inspiration, and an inspiration to girls as well who are
Thank you.
all and getting involved. So
Thank you.
Fantastic. Brilliant.
Definitely. And it's about having that little tribe, isn't it? And making them in that comfortable environment where, you've just said that it's not just about football, it's about sharing experiences. It's about them being in a safe space to be able to speak. They might not want to speak to, the parents or, and it's a bit like the Girls Network, we're going in as mentors to mentor these young people because they might not want to speak to a teacher or something, but they might feel comfortable because they don't know you to talk about something. And then lived experiences, we can guide them through and get them to where they need to be. And I think it's cool. I really do. I love Chicks Who Kick.
Thank you.
And I'm made up that Warren, and Warren's a really cool guy, isn't he? He's a really,
he's a lovely guy.
And I think, for him to, he named about 4 people, and I've met the 4 people who he named, and they're all phenomenal young coaches. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
I did some interpreting there as well.
Yeah, you interpreted there, didn't you? And you met one, and
some Spanish footballers who came over who were training some young people, and then at the Stephen Gerrard Academy as well. That was a cool gig, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Brilliant. So we will share all of the socials again on our pages. And if anybody wants to get in touch with Chloe, you can. If they want to get in touch with us and we'll put you on to Chloe, then that's absolutely cool as well. I'm sure there'll be lots and lots of people who are getting in touch because it's just, it's amazing. And we wish you all the success.
Right back at you. Thank you.
We do have a little format and we have a red face moment. So something slightly embarrassing that's happened that we can laugh along with. Sandra and I have got one each. Do you want to go first, Sandra? Do you want me to go first?
Oh, you go first, Helen.
So I went to the Girls Network yesterday and there was all forms to fill out, when you first go in and registration and things like that. And it didn't take me glasses. So the past couple of weeks, I've really got to wear my glasses when I write now. So you had to write, a sticky label with your name on. So I got the sticky labels and I wrote my name and I said, oh, that pen's not working. So she gave me another pen. So I wrote it again and I went, oh, that one's not working either. She went, oh, it must be these pens. Anyway, she gave me 5 pens. And then I realised I was writing not on the sticky label, but, the plastic bit. And there was about 20 people in. I was going, oh, that pen's not working. I was just giving all these pens back. And I wasn't even writing on a sticky label. And the girl said, oh, I think you need to write. And I went, oh, I haven't got my glasses on. When I wrote on the sticky label, it worked. I was like, oh.
After having 5 pens, that's brilliant.
That's not
I'm terribly sorry, your pen isn't working. As I gone through 12 and kept saying that. I actually, can you do it for me?
I said, it must be this type of pen, like on this thing.
That's brilliant.
So, So that was my red face moment.
Horrendous.
Go on, then.
So,
I'm waiting for this. Actually, you did say it's funny.
Everybody just tunes in to listen to this, Chloe. I'm just red face.
Embarrassing what's happened to me this week. So, a few months, I took on a bit of extra work as well. I have my own company, but I do consultancy work as well in education. And so with all this documentation I was talking about, so I got a bit of help in my life, which is the best thing ever. So I have this wonderful woman, Lynn, who is like the most important person in my life. And she comes to the house for 2 hours a week on a Wednesday. And she cleans the house and it's amazing. And every week I forget she comes and I come in usually late in the evening and I go, and the house smells amazing. And I'm like, oh my God, and it's spotless and I just love it so much. Now, what Lynn doesn't know is I tidy before Lynn comes. So she does this just like mopping and hoovering and stuff like that to do and like cleaning and things. So I try and make sure it's relatively clear and that when she comes and nothing's out, all the dishes are away, etc. So last week she goes, Sandra, is it all right if I come on Tuesday instead of Wednesday? And I went, yeah, of course, no problem at all. I'm out at work, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. So on Sunday, I had my mother around. My mother was a cookery teacher, amongst other things. So when my mum comes for dinner, I do a proper big dinner for my mum, and I did like cauliflower and cheese sauce, different veg, roast, or lamb, etc. Blah blah blah. So I was chocker doing all this work. So my mum came, had a dinner on Sunday. Off she went, and I thought, I'm gonna leave those dishes. I've got to get this work done. I'll do them in the morning. And then I was out first thing, and then I had a problem uplifting all the documents, so I was doing it late till Monday night. So I was like, oh my God, look at the dishes. And I went out Tuesday morning, thought I'll do them tonight when I get in because of Lynn. And then I went out, and then I went to this event in the evening, and my friend had positive news. So we had a glass of champagne. So I got in about 10 o'clock on Tuesday night. I walked in and thought, oh, and the house was gleaming. And Lynn had come on the Tuesday, and I can't tell you, the kitchen was full of dishes. There was cheese. So, I mean, it was like probably the worst I've ever gone out the house and left the kitchen since I've lived here. It was like, it was as though I'd catered a banquet and just left all the dishes and gone out in the kitchen. And I came out, of course, every dish was washed away. I was like, oh my God, the woman must have spent an hour doing dishes. I was just devastated, absolutely mortified. So I got in and I was like, oh, so I rang her last night. I was going, and she was laughing. She went, I said, you should have left them. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I forgot you were coming. And she said, Sandra, I couldn't have left that in such a state. I was just like wanted to die. I was so embarrassed, I can't tell you. And the worst of it was, and like even just in the lounge, like where you fold I've got blankets on the sofa, I fold them neatly and everything, you know, and they were just flung, and I was just like, oh my God.
You have had a very, very busy week, those
Yeah,
dogs.
I can see why.
Horrendous. I have just been working flat out. It's not normal. And I just thought, oh no, Lynn.
And Lynn's the most gorgeous person, isn't she?
Oh, bless her.
She'd have just been like, la la la, wouldn't she? You know,
An absolute dream. She must have gone in the kitchen and gone, it's been one side. Oh, I wanted to die. So most people who have a cleaner clean before the cleaner comes. That's normal.
100%.
That's mad, but it's funny though.
Brilliant. Have you got a little embarrassing moment, Chloe? I'm sure you've got one.
Oh, I don't know. To be honest, the problem it's work related, so it's not even that bad. But if anyone knows me and anyone watches this and they know me, they know that I'm known for wearing Crocs. Like I've always worn them all the time. And the kids in America were massive fans of them. You're like, oh my God, I love your Crocs, they're so cool, whatever. But the kids here, it's a whole different story. I've never felt so uncomfortable wearing them. So I went to training and I had these lovely blue Crocs on, but they were fluffy inside. Yeah. And this kid I had in there, she's like, who's got Crocs like that? I was like, and we had me photographer there, my mate. I was like, the hair's not mine. She's like, God, they're so ugly. I was like, yeah. I was like, really, really ugly. And then she was like, Chloe, she was like, any chance they're yours? And I was like, yeah. And I was just, do you know what? The kids say all the time, they go, they're so ugly. But I've actually started to influence them because a girl turned up on Saturday and she was wearing Crocs, fully kitted out in Crocs. And I said, is that because of me? She's like, but it was. But it's not that embarrassing. But to me, internally, I was screaming because she was like, they're a show. Who's are they? I was like, oh, it's Becca's, it's not mine.
Kids are boss, aren't they?
Oh, God, that's funny.
Crocs are quite sort of, I think Crocs are coming back. I think Crocs are going to be quite trendy again. So
I'm waiting for them to come back.
You are a trendsetter.
Just tell you the truth. When I used to teach Chloe, I'd be there and a kid in the class would go, Miss, do you dress like that? Because you work dead hard, so you haven't got time to go to the shops. And I used to go, yes, that's right. Thank you.
Kids ask the maddest stuff, don't they? They're honestly so cheeky sometimes.
Brilliant. I love it. Okay. Shout out to the grown-ups, any grown-ups who've done amazing things. I'm going to give a shout out to all of the mentors from the Girls Network who went last night to Holly Lodge. So there was 20 women who are all working, who are giving their time for, you don't get paid for it, and you're giving your time for a year. You meet your mentee once a month, and they're giving their time because they want to help young people. So I'm going to shout out to all the Girls Network mentors. Yeah. What about you, San?
I'm going to give a shout out for a few people, and some of whom have been on our show actually. And they're starting fundraising, and they're doing a trek in the Sahara. And next Thursday, October the 17th, there's a quiz in town in the Baltic. So I'm going to share the link for that.
Love Lane, isn't it? Love Lane Breweries.
Love Lane Brewery, that's right. And it's Claire Ellis is going, Leon McCown is going. They're both people who've been on the show, and they're doing their trek across the Sahara. And it's Zoe's place. I think they're doing that. Oh no, it's not. It's
Nugent they're doing it because Howard, who was on
and Howard's as well. We've had him on
the
as well.
Novotel. Yeah, he's doing it as well, isn't he?
Yeah. So 3 of our guests are doing that trek, which is cool.
Which is cool,
to them. So if you can get to Love Lane Brewery, it's a week on Thursday. So I'm giving everyone loads of notice.
Brilliant. Have you got any shout outs, Chloe?
I have. I've got a very special friend of mine called Becca. So Becca at the moment is doing some photography work and coaching work for Chicks Who Kick. And I must say, she's one of the most amazing people you'll ever meet. She's honestly, so I actually met Becca in America. She's from Liverpool. And me and her have got a really funny story in Boston. It's so mad. But she's a photographer. She's an amazing girl. Her Instagram is Lose Lens. And she's just one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. Very kind, lovely girl. And she's kind of got the same mindset as me. So love her. Big shout out to her. She's amazing.
Brilliant. What is it? LOU? Lose Lens?
Yeah, LOULENZ. If anyone ever needs any photography or anything doing. I mean, she's working with Chicks Who Kick, so don't steal her, but she's doing a great job. And she's a lovely girl who I met in America, and she's a great coach as well. And a great person, most importantly.
Yeah, brilliant. We'll have a little mooch for her. And I've got to say, your social media and your photographs and your videos and things are pretty cool.
Thank you. I'll work that hard on them, so I hope people like them.
Yeah. So she's doing a really great job. Book podcast that you're reading, San? Do you want to share yours?
Yeah, well, I think last week I mentioned I'd got it. So last week I started and finished it's a bit dry, but it was quite interesting. A short history. I'm trying to show the cover. I can't. A short history of England. So I listened to that. That was interesting, and it was very full on, but good. And I've started on one you recommended to me, which is called Teaching with Poverty in Mind, which is free on Audible, and it's about the impact that poverty has, and certainly generational poverty, on people in education, and how when you're an educator you need to be mindful of that, of what's going on at someone's home before they walk through the door in school as well.
So I am nearly finished Teaching with Poverty in Mind. It's by somebody called Eric Jensen. It's probably one of the greatest listens I've ever listened to. It's unbelievable, and the way that he tells the story is amazing. But he doesn't just tell you the story, he then gives you like little hints and tips and things to challenge and to combat and strategies, and it's a brilliant book. And I'm listening to that one, but I'm reading Black Box Thinking. So I'm half the way through that, and that's really interesting because that's about, a bit like you were saying, Chloe, you learn from your failures and it's okay to fail. And we need to make failing acceptable. So we need, if we never fail, we'll never learn. And what they're saying is that the aircraft, the aviation industry is amazing because their learnings are so good, but their learnings are so good because of what's happened in the past, but they've analysed it and they've changed things. So it's about, creating a culture of failure, really, and celebrating failure, because that's the only way you learn. And it's a brilliant book. So are you reading anything, Chloe, or do you have a podcast or anything that you listen to?
So it's not a book, but it's kind of a short one, and then a podcast. So the podcast is Anything Goes with Emma Chamberlain, and she's a YouTuber I've watched for ages, and she's a very raw YouTuber she's an older girl, just same age as me, roundabout, and she just talks about normal things in life. And I think it's nice to see someone be so like upfront and normal. And then a lovely short story is, so one of my clients, we always speak about school, and she said to me, she was like, I really like English. Do you want me to write you a story? And I was like, yeah. I was like, of course, but you've just got to include Chicks Who Kick. So she wrote me a story, and it's probably the best. It's only short, but it's probably the best thing I've ever read and the best thing anyone's ever done for me because it was so cute.
Oh, how lovely.
Oh, how amazing is that?
A story involving your business. But
it was so cute. So it was like, it started like saying, I don't want to do gymnastics, I want to play football. I met this lovely coach called Chloe, and then it ended the story of her playing professionally for Everton and then coaching for Chicks Who Kick.
Oh, you need to get it published.
Yeah, I know. I've said that to her. I said, listen, and her name's Sophie Murphy, amazing football player. She plays for Wigan. Lovely young girl, very hard work, and lovely young girl. And she said, can I write? And I was like, oh my God, I was like, be my guest. And she sent me the other day, and I had to stop myself from crying because I thought,
oh, that's
so cute. But yeah, that's my little story and podcast. But that's probably the best thing anyone's ever given to me.
Nice. Oh, how
That's
cool.
amazing, isn't it? That is
So
absolutely gorgeous. Well, our time is up. That's gone super fast.
Yeah.
So I want to say a massive thank you, Chloe, for giving your time, sharing your story, inspiring millions of young little people, and everybody who's a female, which is phenomenal. Thank you to Sandra, because you have been super busy, and then yes, you've still got time to come on, which is brilliant. So Chloe, do you have a closing quote? Do you have a mantra that you live by? Do you have something that you say to your young people all the time?
Yes. So at the end of every day, sit with yourself and be proud for what you do at the end of every day, because getting up every day, getting yourself ready, accomplishing things that you don't think you could do, that you thought you couldn't do yesterday, but you did. Take every day step by step. I always say to the girls, Rome wasn't built in a day. I've always said it to all of them. And the more you fail, the more you'll learn. Every time I ask them. So it's kind of just take everything in your stride, let things flow. What's meant for you will come to you. Amazing. And just be proud of yourself every single day, because life's not easy. So you can't sugarcoat it, but you've just got to keep going.
Amazing. Brilliant. So we will see everybody next Tuesday. Are we back Tuesday next week, Sam?
Yeah, we are Tuesday next week. Sorry, my schedule's up the wall for everyone.
Yes. But we're back next Tuesday. So we will see everybody next Tuesday. Massive thank you to Chloe, and a massive
thank you
to
too
Sandra.
so much. Thanks, Helen. Thanks, Sandra.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Meet you. Have you pressed the button, Helen?
I have pressed the button, but it's carrying on. We're carrying on. Keep smiling. Why isn't it ending?
Because you mustn't need to press it again, just a suggestion.
Having trouble